I feel like the way you view where you are at in life is the same way you will experience it. What I mean is that there be hella people who are in bad positions in their life. And it's not necessarily because of the situation that they're in, but the way that they perceive that situation. The way that they view the things going on around them causes most of the issues that they have in their life. There's a lot of things that they struggle with that could honestly be more positive and more beneficial mentally, but because of the way that they have their perspective on the situation that they're in, it turns out to be more negative and detrimental. I feel like if you have a negative mindset, that it doesn't matter the good that happens to you, because if you view everything in a bad light, ultimately things will come to you in a bad way. I feel like when people are working on themselves and they're trying to do better for themselves, or people who just doing bad and they don't know how to improve, I feel like a safe place to start for anyone is your mind. Having control of your mind is how you have control of your reality. If you are having all of these different situations coming up in your life, you realize that you are being torn down by them instead of learning from them. I want you to understand the situation occurring is not the problem you're dealing with. It's your outlook on the situation that you are in, which is causing the problems you are having. Now, I take that to say this: the way you learn to view things more positively is to ponder the different perspectives you could possibly take on that situation. Have you ever talked to someone about something you have been going through, or even a circumstance you are currently going through, and you notice that they have taken a completely different approach than you at it? This could be about anything, but an example I'll use is dealing with discomfort. Say you are in school and you have to, I don't know, go up front and speak before your classmates on like a science topic, like some shit you've been researching on. For a lot of people, and this goes for me too, that shit makes me mad uncomfortable. You feel me? I don't like getting up in front of all these people talking and shit. Like, back when I was in school, I was like, man, what I look like doing that? You feel me? Now, what a lot of people will do is they will try to get out of doing the presentation because of how uncomfortable they feel. They'll be like, man, I'm not finna present in front of all these people, because what's the point? You feel me? Like, I mean, they feel anxious and nervous, and because of that, they don't try to see any way it could benefit them. There's a lot of things that we deal with in life that can make us feel uncomfortable or make us feel anxious or nervous, or anything that we would rather not feel. Even scared sometimes. And a lot of times when we run into problems like that, we just assume that, oh, since I'm feeling this way, this must not be worth it. It's not worth my time to go through this. And I ain't gonna lie, I've done that shit a lot myself. Like, a lot, with a lot of different things. It is way easier to avoid actions that be causing me to feel anxious or nervous than to try to overcome them. So anyways, back to this example. So say you go ahead and you skip class or something to avoid, having to present. I mean, cause shit, if you're not in class, then you don't gotta present. Which, again, I'm telling you that from experience. You feel me? I'm not saying it's a good thing to do, but I gotta be honest. That is something that I've done. And sometimes I would go up to the people, the people in my class, my classmates, my friends, if I had them in my class, and I'd ask them, how'd the presentation go? And almost every single person I would ask, if not everyone, would start off by saying how nervous they were, or how anxious they were, or how uncomfortable they were. Even the people who, like, were known to be confident. There's always the people who are known to be confident in school. Even those people seemed, or would tell me about how anxious they were and how nervous they were. And you might wonder to yourself, how could someone in that same situation as me handle it so much more confidently and positively that they still fought through those emotions? They didn't try to get out of it. They didn't try to avoid it. They overcame it. How did they do that? At least that's what I asked myself. And the answer to that is their mindset about the situation. Their mindset was different than mine, and maybe yours too. The difference between me back then and some of the other people that were in my classes is I seen the circumstances as negative because of the feeling it gave me. So that caused that feeling to consume my thoughts, and caused me to want to avoid the situation completely if possible. And I'm not just speaking just about myself, this goes for you watching too. While person B got the same feeling that me or you did, instead of allowing it to consume the way they perceive the situation, they look for what about the circumstances could benefit them in the end, and use those to counteract the initial feeling it gave them. Going back on the picture painted earlier, it wasn't that my classmates ain't get nervous about presenting. They just look for positive ways about it and use those to fight that feeling. For example, some of the people that I would talk to, they told me that they seen it as a way to practice public speaking, or even just simply pushing themselves out of their comfort zone, because that alone has its own benefits. Taking this perspective allows that even though what they have to do makes them feel uneasy, they have the reassurance that they will benefit, learn, and even grow from it. You, as a person, gonna grow the most from being in uncomfortable situations. So like I said earlier, while it is way easier to sit there and avoid all things that make you feel uncomfortable, it will make shit way harder for you when you try to get to the places where you want to be in life. You can always learn and grow from something that makes you uneasy, but will you take the opportunity and make the most of it? Or is you going to continue to be like everyone else and keep avoiding them? I'm not saying that to judge you, but rather to encourage you. I know there are a lot of people who want to better themselves, but they don't allow themselves to be put into the situations they need to be in order to grow in the areas they need. Now, to end this little message off, I'll say this. Any opportunity, whether you feel uncomfortable or completely comfortable, is an opportunity you can benefit from in some way. You just have to think of the way and perceive it in that way that is most beneficial towards you. If there's something that you want to do, you can feel deep down that it's like a calling for you. Like you really want to pursue this thing. You're getting all the signs that it will be good for you, but you're uncomfortable or you're nervous. I feel like it's important to take messages like these as signs and use them as reassurance of God telling you to seize the opportunities you are given. Because when you make use of the opportunities that God gives you, He will then give you the opportunity to create your own. But I just want to say thank you to anyone who watched this to the end. I hope I could have given any of you some sort of wisdom. And remember, we are all in this together. I mean, I'm still learning and growing every single day. So this is a talk for myself just as much as a message for you. So be patient. You're going to get it right with practice, just as anything else. But it's up to you to choose to enjoy it. Enjoy what you're practicing. Enjoy what you're taking part in. You can either view being uncomfortable as a negative thing and as a hurtful thing, or you can learn to enjoy it. You can practice enjoying it. And you can learn how much it can really help benefit your life. But alright, y'all. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all morning, evening, and night. And God bless y'all.